It is your 8 scale buggy plus what, 15-20%. It is a little bit bigger, it's a little bit longer, a little bit wider. The Asuga XLR. Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and you can barely see me over this huge box. Today I'm going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at the Asuga XLR. This is one of the latest releases from Team Corally, a really good model, and it's not your standard 8 scale buggy. It is your 8 scale buggy plus what, 15-20%. It is a little bit bigger, it's a little bit longer, a little bit wider, and I love it. I absolutely love the idea for purely for bashing and getting around. It's going to be a little bit bigger to get over rougher and groomed surfaces and play areas, so it can really make a mess of pretty much anything you put it down on. Is 6S capable? And as you can see on the box, they claim that it can in fact reach speeds of 100 kilometers an hour, and I don't doubt that at all. However, with the standard pinion in it, I have seen other tests and reviews where 4S you're sort of looking at about 58 kilometers per hour, and in fact on 6S you're looking at about 90 kilometers per hour. So it's not quite 100 k's out of the box, but it does have wide scope and adjustability and tunability. I'm sure this thing is going to have plenty of power and heaps of speed for pretty much all and even the most dedicated bashers out there. So let's jump in the box and take a look. Got my trusty little 9 steps knife here. Now this one, according to the box, is green, my personal favorite color. Let's see what it looks like in the skin though. Don't know what green, don't know if it's fluoro green, don't know if it's like a grass green. We'll get the transmitter out of the way. That's the last thing we want. Big box for a big buggy. Here we go. Here we go. Wow, already. The color is absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to get the box out of the way. Give us some room to breathe. Very well packed. Like I said, this thing is ready to run, so it comes in the box. All you're going to need to do is throw a battery and charger towards your setup and you are off on the trails. It does come with a transmitter, but battery and charger not included, which is very typical of most performance ready to run machines. Get these cardboards off, really nicely packed. Now of course it comes fully assembled and painted. Look at this. Wow, that suspension actually feels really nice. That is some of the best out of the box suspension I've felt. Now being a 8 scale buggy of high specification, we'll jump into the overhead now and let's point out some of the features. Okay, shocks, 16mm big bores, all alloy units, absolute weapons. And that's great because they make it stronger and reliable. So that's really nice. Not that you can't bend a shock shaft or damage it, but it is a monster, really nice. Looking at the front shock tower here, it looks like machined alloy, I'd say, or maybe punch steel, and it is 5mm thick, so nice and chunky. Probably can bend in the event of a big accident, but you can also re-straighten it. Have a look in a bit further back. Look at these big beefy chassis braces. I love this. So it comes from the front bulkhead down the center line of the chassis to the chassis plate and then up and over the center diff here. Look at this. We've got an alloy brace on top here that screws to that, over the center bulkhead and brace, out to the back brace and to the rear gearbox. Really, really good. Really nice. I love that. That is a nice touch. That is going to make it very strong, forgiving and supple at the same time. Here we have got, according to the specs, a metal gear servo with an alloy servo horn. Really, really good. I love that. Not to say that probably the servo won't give grief at some point. In any big bashing material, this servo takes an awful amount of punishment. And at this price point, they're just not made with $300 servos. It's as simple as that. So in our competition machines that we race, we do always have really strong, really powerful servos in there, but they do cost the money. And they do cost the money because they are incredibly strong. Let's have a look over here. Now we do have a very typical Buggy pillow ball arrangement, which is really nice. I like it. It doesn't always give the best steering lock, especially in ready to run forms, but it does give you a really solid slop free front end, and it's really easy to maintain, service and repair. And we've even got like alloy sleeves here to keep them really strong. These look like 5mm threads and 8mm balls, really tough. We've even got these little winglets on the top arms, very similar to taken straight from the playbook of the racing scene. Various manufacturers, Associated, Mugen, also X-Ray, have these little winglets on the top A-arms of the suspension. Now talking about the A-arms of the suspension, let's whip it over for you and have a look underneath. And we can have a look a little bit closer in detail at some of the finer points that make this thing, that are going to make this thing strong. Here we've got CNC suspension block A, suspension block B. This is really cool, and this is going to keep the Buggy really taut and really strong. I love that. So they've got these braces in here to keep it really strong. Again, in the event of a huge accident, you can bend them, but it's definitely much stronger than the plastic counterparts that they put on cheaper Buggies. I can see here that we've fitted with factory fitted droop screws, and the droop screws are installed. So you can in fact tune this thing. You can tune it for off-road, on-road speed runs. You can change the balance of the car, the way that it's developing traction, in and out of the corners, the way it's jumping. I like that being a racer. It also comes factory fitted with sway bars, which I'll flip over. Another thing that I think is really important being a basher kind of car is the skid plate. Look at that, nice and beefy. Now these screws are going to get polished up and munted over time. That goes without saying. But the fact that it's got this skid plate to protect your kick up and your chassis, your suspension blocks and your arms is a great feature. Knowing that these cars are going to end up at skate parks and doing somewhat inappropriate things, is what I like to say for an RC car. Again, rear skid plate, and it's nice, it's tapered down, it's stepped down, so it's not just going to get snagged on the track and on the surface that you're running, which is sometimes paramount if you are like at a racetrack kind of scenario. But on a basher, yeah, this is where it's going to wear the most on the rear here. Looking at these big beefy suspension arms, and I said this thing was like an odd scale, which it sort of is. So it's like an extra large 8 scale. Really nice CNC machined chassis here, hard anodized, which is really nice. We'll flip them back over and see if we can't spy the sway bars and stuff. They're going to be buried deep down in the suspension componentry. Right in here. Hard to get the lighting in there as well, but we can see here that it's running across from the gearbox, the front gearbox, out to the suspension arm, and it's got a nice wide point on it, so it's going to be nice and responsive and progressive. It's also slide adjustable on the ball cup, so you can change the way that the sway bars feel. I love it. One of the biggest concerns I would have with this Buggy, if I was to purchase it, would be the wheels and tyres, because they're not 8 scale. They are slightly bigger and they're not big enough to be truggy, but I'm sure that there is plenty of scope for adjustment and wide, and plenty of tyres will fit it aftermarket wise. That said, the tyres feel really nice. I don't know if they're belted. They probably are, probably more so if I read the box, but they feel like a really good all-purpose sort of compound. They will run on asphalt, definitely good on grass, and yeah, I think they're going to have lots of life in them. Now looking at the power plant, here we go. This is what you guys want to know. So we do in fact have the Toro 185, and I believe that this is just pretty much Team Corally have been using for the past Hobby Wing stuff, Hobby Wings entry-level stuff, just rebranded, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Really good stuff, really reliable and super powerful. Got a huge capacitor bank here, which is really nice. So that's going to ensure that the speed is not under excess load, particularly at startup. If you start pulling up a big gear, it's going to be less prone to cogging and have a smoother feel just right on the initial throttle response. We've also comes with 2 plugs, so you can run like 2 2S, 2 3S, or put this series plug in, and then you can run single pack options. Single pack options, you could probably run single 3S, 4S and 6S if you are unhinged. Yeah, I think 4S would be more than enough for this, but 6S obviously if you want the ultimate in performance. Looking around here at the motor, I can see here we've got a really beefy motor mount, which is really nice. And I can tell here by the slide adjustment that there is plenty of scope to move the motor out. And you know what that means? Bigger pinion. So I have no doubt that this thing can in fact hit massive amounts of speed. Of course, it's probably geared very conservative for a ready run machine. That's because whether it's 4S or 6S, like I said, I would probably go up 2 or 3 teeth and run 4S. I think would be a great package. But if you did that with the 6S, you would probably overheat and kill the motor. And speaking of the motor, it is a Curon 825, and kV wise it is a 2050, so it is a truggy spec motor. So 2050, again, it will be a rebranded Hobby Wing item, and that is great news because it is a really good product. The XLR also comes equipped with spring steel drive cups, both on the center line of the drive shaft and in fact on the out drives of the differentials. The differentials of course are fluid filled, and there's 3 of them. There's a front, a rear and a center differential. They all come with metal gears in there, plastic case, and the center diff, I'm not sure about the front and rear, the center diff I can see does have a metal anodized sleeve on it, and that's good for heat dissipation, so that's really good. But diffs in these things are often something that's not serviced until they're broken. If however you do care and love your machine, after every big bash session, or I'd say 6 to 8 batteries, it is time to strip it down and rebuild your diffs. If you look after the diffs, they will not fail, I can pretty much guarantee it. It's only when the oil gets burnt, really becomes less effective, the diffs spin up excessively because there's no fluid in there to arrest this, and then they end up melting. The pins get overheated inside, that melts the cases, and that's what buggers your diffs because it smashes all the gears apart. Doesn't have camber adjustment front on the rear. On the front it will have with the pillow ball arrangement, but that's nice, just keeps everything really sturdy. Makes parts replacement nice and cheap. Not that I think you would be needing any. Let's have a look at another feature. So the body shell. I love this body shell. Like I said, I do love the green and I do love the graphics on it. I think it looks cool. It's even got stylized exhaust pipes on there for that sort of scale buggy look. Not that I've ever seen a buggy look like this, but some really good features that Team Corally have put into this are these body protectors. An 8 scale buggy body will take lots of hits on the body. They do have a lot of chassis flex, and the bodies often tear and break around the body posts. But that shouldn't so much be the case with this body because it's got these braces there, top and bottom. They screw through the body, and that will really arrest that problem. That is a great feature, and you'd even put that, even go as far as to say that they should put that on some racing buggies. Really nice and a good feature. I love that. So that's really cool. And what else comes in the box? So we've got CV service kit, it looks like. So we've got replacement pins and drive cups to service the front CV drive shafts. We have got in the bag here, we've obviously got our instructions. We've got the CT2R radio, 2 channel 2.4 gig of course. We've got looks like different, just a neck strap for the radio. We've got a bind plug and a key ring. Nice little features, as well as the antenna tube, which you probably want to put on. You just don't want this bit of wire flopping around all the time. You want to put your antenna tube on, and I would probably go as far as to bend the antenna tube over so it sits nicely under the body and it is somewhat protected, either forward or back like that. You can just heat it up with a heat gun or hair dryer and bend the tube over nicely. That way you're going to make sure you do not damage your antenna wire of the receiver. Now, looking at the radio, don't think there's a need to open this and get it out of the box, but hey, let's do it anyway. That is a super sharp 9 steps knife. Looking at the radio here, get this stuff out of the way, we have got the very common adjustments. We have got steering trim, throttle trim, and steering dual rate. Really nice. You've got channel reverse, channel 1 and channel 2, and that is really good because if you put an aftermarket servo in this at some point, you might find that it works reverse from the factory Team Corally fitted one. And then you've got your power switch. The transmitter will run on 4 AA batteries, I'm guessing. Yep, 4 AA batteries, and with no screen or displays on there, that battery will last for an awfully long time. I'd say we probably get realistically 3 to 6 months of constant use out of it, unless you leave it turned on. Then of course it will go flat in a day. But all you got to do is throw some batteries at it and go have fun. I'm a huge fan of the Team Corally. I don't think that there's many, if any, better bashers on the market than this. It's a great price point. It's a great product. I think if you're in the market, you should definitely check out the Asuga XLR XLR. I'm Brett from Hearns, and thanks for watching.